Hello friends, back with me again, Joseph, your host, and welcome back to Catechism for Kids. Today we're diving into one of the most exciting and touching stories in the entire Old Testament, the Book of Tobit. Have you ever felt like things just keep going wrong? No matter how hard you try to do the right thing? Well, that's exactly where our story begins. The Book of Tobit is a short story found in the Catholic Bible. It's not in every Christian Bible, which makes it extra special for us to explore. It tells the story of a man named Tobit. He was a good, faithful man who loved God. But he and his family were living in exile, far from their home, after their land was taken over by a foreign king. Even though life was tough, Tobit always tried to follow God's laws. He was kind to the poor and made sure that those who died were given a proper burial. But then disaster struck. Tobit became blind, and he felt so discouraged and sad that he didn't know what to do. At the very same time, in a faraway land, a young woman named Sarah was also in deep sorrow. She had been married 7 times, but each time, a terrible demon took her husband's life on their wedding night. She felt hopeless and cried out to God in her sadness. Now, here's where the story gets really amazing. God heard the prayers of both Tobit and Sarah. And what did he do? Sent an angel to help them. But not just any angel. He sent the Archangel Raphael. Raphael appeared in disguise, looking just like a regular person, and he joined Tobit's son Tobias on a long and important journey. As Tobias and Raphael traveled together, Tobias learned incredible lessons about trusting God. They faced dangers like a giant fish that tried to eat Tobias. But with Raphael's guidance, every problem started to turn into a blessing. This story is packed with adventure, but it's really about the power of prayer, the love of family, and keeping faith even when it's hard. It reminds us that God is always listening, and even when we can't see it, he is at work behind the scenes. So, who wrote this incredible story? We actually don't know for sure. The author doesn't leave his name, but it was most likely written by a Jewish person about 200 years before Jesus was born. The goal was to give hope to people who, like Tobit, were living in exile and facing tough times. The original story was written in Hebrew or Aramaic, the languages of the Jewish people. Later, it was translated into Greek. In fact, some very old copies of the Book of Tobit were found among the famous Dead Sea Scrolls, which tells us this story was loved and shared by many people a long, long time ago. Even though we don't know who the writer was, the story feels so personal and real. It talks about real pain, real family struggles, and real trust in God. Understanding that it was written for people living in difficult times helps us see why its message of hope was so powerful. The way the book is written is also really cool. It reads like a short story or a folktale, not like a history book. It has a clear beginning with a problem, a middle with a journey, and a happy ending. The story is full of action and even a little bit of humor. We have Raphael the angel traveling in disguise, the big fish, and the driving away of a demon. All these elements make the story come alive. It mixes everyday things like going on errands or cooking meals with heavenly signs, like meeting an angel. This mix makes it easy for us to connect with, so the lessons are simple and told through action. It's like a story your grandparents might tell you, full of wisdom and warmth. So what does the Book of Tobit teach us that connects to our Catholic faith today so much? First, it teaches us about faith in hard times. Tobit and Sarah suffer, but they never stop praying. Their story shows that God hears us. Second, it shows the power of prayer. They prayed with honest words and God sent help. The book also teaches about the beauty of marriage and family. God brings Tobias and Sarah together, and their marriage is built on faith. On their wedding night, they pray together, asking God to bless their life. The story also shows the importance of helping others. Tobit cared for the poor and buried the dead. These are the works of mercy that the Church still teaches us to do today. And of course, there are the angels. Raphael was sent by God to lead, protect, and heal. The Church believes in angels, and this story is a powerful reminder that they are our real helpers, sent from God. The Book of Tobit is just bursting with hope. Let's quickly walk through the chapters. The book is short and easy to follow. It starts with Tobit's troubles, where we meet him and Sarah in their sadness. Then God sends help. This is when Raphael appears and the journey with Tobias begins. The next part covers the marriage and healing. Tobias marries Sarah, and with Raphael's help, the demon is driven away. Then, They return home, and Tobias heals his father's blindness. After all this, the truth is revealed. Raphael tells them he is an angel sent by God. Can you imagine their surprise and joy? The book ends with Tobit's last words, where he gives thanks to God and shares his final advice. From beginning to end, every part shows how God works through people, prayer, and even angels. Now let's meet the main characters. First, there's Tobit, the faithful father. There's his wife Anna, who works hard and worries for her family. Then we have Tobias, their brave son, who goes on the adventure of a lifetime. And we have Sarah, the young woman whose deep sorrow is turned to joy. And of course, there's Raphael, the angel in disguise who brings healing and hope. Finally, we have Sarah's parents, Rachel and Edna, who welcome Tobias and are filled with joy. Even though this story is ancient, it feels so relevant today. We all face struggles and sometimes lose hope. Tobit's story reminds us to keep our faith. It doesn't stop praying or doing good, even when things are bad. This example teaches us to keep trusting God. The book's focus on family and marriage is also so important. It shows us how powerful it is to pray together and put God at the center of our families. We might not see angels in disguise, but God still sends us help, sometimes through a friend, a kind stranger, or a quiet answer to prayer. Tobit gives us hope that God is always working, even in small, hidden ways. Did you know we sometimes hear the Book of Tobit at Mass? It's part of the Catholic lectionary for weekday readings. When it appears, the readings focus on prayer, marriage, and trust in God. The beautiful prayer of Tobias and Sarah on their wedding night is even used as a reading for weddings today. Hearing this story in church connects our own lives to the faith of those who came before us. So, to wrap it all up, the Book of Tobit is a story about a good man, Tobit, and a young woman, Sarah, who are both suffering. They pray to God, and God sends the Archangel Raphael to help. Tobit's son, Tobias, goes on a journey with Raphael, marries Sarah, and learns how to heal his father's blindness. It's a story that teaches us to pray, trust God, and care for others, reminding us that God is always working for our good. So, have you ever felt like Tobit or Sarah? Lost, sad, or unsure of what to do? Their story is for you. It's a promise that God hears our prayers. I encourage you to read the Book of Tobit this week. It's not long, and it's full of inspiration. Thanks for joining us today for this adventure into the Bible. I hope it inspires you to always keep faith, love your family, and look for God's help in your own life. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next episode of Catechism for Kids. See you next time, and take care, everyone. Stay healthy and hungry for God and holiness. May the Lord bless and keep you always.